All right, this is Mike, and this is Prizes and Raffles. This is an incredibly powerful strategy to get people to actually show up at your events, stick around. It's also something that we know has increased our profitability substantially. So, a couple quick things about prizes and raffles you need to know. First of all, I believe this module alone can earn you an additional $5,000 or $10,000 the first time you use it. That's assuming, of course, you're actually presenting in front of an audience with money and you've got a product worth buying. You've gone through the offer preparation and the other 5 modules and really understand what's going on. But bottom line to me is this is worth as much as the product itself, and I'm really gonna go through some stuff that between Ed and I, we were talking about this earlier, and some training and some conversations, some meetings I've had with people like Mike Filsame, Andy Jenkins, John Assaraf, JJ Virgin. These are some things that we have tested and retested and refined. And there's a few nuanced things in here. If you just implement them and avoid some of the mistakes, it's gonna save you a ton of time, and it's also could save you some of the most costly sales killer mistakes that I've seen people make over and over again. There's one little thing, and I'll tell you what it is when I get there, that if you just don't do that, it could save you 5, 10, 20 sales the first time you do it. And again, mistakes, years worth of mistakes are the key thing. So I want to get you to pleasure and get you making money as rapidly as possible. So first of all, a little background on why I think raffles and giveaways are so important. The first thing is, number one, you want to get more registrations. So if there was a way I could say, look, you're going to get 10 or 20% or maybe even 30% more registrations for your next live event, would you do it? Hopefully the answer is yes. Next, greater attendance. And that just means, don't you want more people to show up at your live event and of course keep them focused and then stick around until the end of the program? And here's the key thing. Sales is a numbers game. Once you figure out if you've got a good offer, and let's say 10% of all the people who attend your events on average buy your product, look, if you can increase the number of people who are there by 20 or 30%, you're going to make 20 or 30% more money every time. And that can happen just with raffles and giveaways alone. And of course, if you use some of the other strategies inside the rest of this program, you're going to make more money. All right, so a couple major lessons that I've learned over the past few years with raffles and giveaways. Number one, and this is the thing that I told you I was going to tell you that was going to be really valuable. I was just on the phone 2 days ago with a very experienced, smart marketer who's been in the marketing business for now 10 years. That's when I met this person. And he told me, hey, well, on the webcast, why don't we just give away one of the products we're selling? And I'm like, no, you don't want to do that. And the reason being is people will stick around and not buy to see if they won, okay? That one thing alone, I've seen people literally kill their sales. They had people who were interested, wanted the product, and then they got focused on, well, I'm going to see if I'm going to win, so they didn't buy. And then when they didn't buy, they were disappointed that they didn't win, so they didn't buy. So it killed their sales on 2 levels, all right? Next one, you want to make the prizes relevant to the offer. And I'll give you an example. I'm going to walk off camera for just one moment and grab some of the prizes that I frequently give away as an illustration. But they're right here right now. So for example, I'm a big fan of giving away selfie sticks because I'm in the video business. Why wouldn't I want to actually give away something that supports people making videos? Now, if this is something that's not going to interfere with, it's going to actually support my offer. It's relevant to video marketing. Another great prize that I have would maybe be a portable LED light, for example, okay? So this is an adjustable portable LED light. Wouldn't necessarily cost a lot of money. This particular one's about $50, but it can make a production look great. A webcam, okay? Again, relevant to video creation, and if I want to get people attached to using a specific camera, people are invariably going to say, hey, what camera should I use? If I give away the one I recommend, and in this case it's around $100, that's a pretty good giveaway. It's highly relevant. And then another one that I've given away in the past is like a Chromecast. from Google. This would allow people to watch our trainings or watch our shows on their TVs. And I'm going to make that relevant to them. I'd say, look, this is a great way. If you want your customers to watch you on TV, this is something that you can give them that'll cost you around $35. So oftentimes I get these questions, how much should a prize cost? The answer is, again, it's got to be within reason. If you're selling a $100 product, giving away a $25 product is reasonable and realistic. If you're giving, or if you're selling a $1,000 or $2,000 product, you might want to give away a $100, $200, or even $300 or $400 product during your event. But again, the key is making it relevant. And you want to make sure it supports but doesn't devalue or create objections. And what that really means is, again, I'm showing you a whole bunch of products that would support the sale of the Webcast Profit Toolkit. But you don't want to create something that someone would say, you know what, now if I don't have this thing that they're talking about, then the product isn't gonna work right. Or wouldn't that mean that this thing is gonna be you always create all these other bad conversations in someone's head that might prevent them from buying in the first place. Next thing is you want to make sure that your product never competes with the product you're selling. So for example, I've seen very successful, very smart salespeople talk about their book, and then they get to their product, which costs $1,000 or $2,000. The audience will say, I'll just buy the book. I just got it on Amazon. I think I'll learn what I need to learn, okay? That's a bad idea. So again, you don't want to heighten the value of something that's cheap when you're selling something that costs a lot more money, okay? And this is something that we just learned. For a long time, what we were doing is every time you'd register for a live event, we'd give away a prize. Well, we weren't checking to see if they were actually there. We didn't go so far because we didn't have a way to manage. You have to be present to attend. It's basically impossible to manage if you're doing a live physical event or you're doing an online event. So now what we do, change the game completely, and I'll tell you what that is as we move forward. All right, and the next one is don't be cheap. Now, does that mean that you've got to spend a lot of money when you don't know how many people are going to sign up or attend? I did not say that, okay? When you're getting started out, you can play with this a little bit, but in my opinion, instead of giving away a $15 or $25 gift certificate because that's all you can afford, you might want to give away something that has high perceived value or personalized value. One thing I will tell you is don't give away your time. Don't say, hey, I'm going to give away a 3-hour consultation with me. Don't do that, because then it makes you look like you're cheap, you're accessible, and your time isn't worth much. Okay? Give away a product, but maybe it could be something that's handcrafted, handmade, or personalized for that person, or again, highly relevant. So it doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money, but if it just seems like it's so chintzy that no one's going to care to sign up or show up, it makes you and your product and your brand look and feel cheap. Okay? So this is a really important slide, and I'm going to explain to you how we used it. In fact, you may have invested in the Webcast Profit Toolkit because you saw this. So here's what happens. When we're doing a live event, in our outbound emails, we say we're going to be giving away an Apple iWatch. We found that an Apple iWatch has been a good prize. Again, it's about $350, so it's affordable. Turns out, just from a tax perspective, I'm going to just tell you something here. I'm not giving tax or legal advice, so you want to check with your tax attorney or consultant on this. But I think I remember that you have to issue a 1099 in the United States if you're giving away something or someone is receiving payment of $400 or more. So if your prize is under that, it can be, you won't have that 1099 requirement. It doesn't have to be filed, but it can be expensed. Again, I'm not giving you legal advice, nor am I saying that with certainty. It's just what I happen to remember right now, which may or may not be correct. Are we understanding each other? All right. So the point is, during the presentation, I'm going to say something to the effect of, now, I only want to work with serious implementers, and I'm going to give you an incentive to stick around. In fact, you win no matter what. So the first thing is, I'm going to be giving away an Apple iWatch at the end of this presentation. So stick around to the end, but you're going to have to pay attention because I'm going to ask a question, and the first person who types in the correct answer is going to win the Apple iWatch. So take lots of notes. Do you see? I just stacked a whole bunch of reasons why you want to stick around, and you have to pay attention. You need to take notes. Bam. Next thing. And even if you don't win the Apple iWatch at the end of the presentation when I give it away, you will win because I'm going to give away the slides from this presentation. So for any reason you're not able to take really, really detailed notes and as many notes as you'd like to, I will not be going backwards, and I might move quickly. Okay, I've got a lot of information I want to share with you today. So I'll make the slide deck available, but it's only available at the end of this presentation, and we're planning on editing that out if we do a replay. Again, pay attention to what I just said there. Really important. So the whole deal is the only way you're going to get this is if you stick around. Stay to the end. Stay to the end. Stay to the end. That's what's important. And if this didn't all make sense, you want to rewind this and listen to this whole segment one more time, because what I just gave you is gold in my opinion. Those two things. You win no matter what. You have to stick around to the end, and the only way to get it is if you stick around to the end. So if you get the whole thing, well, I have to go away. I've got something going on. I got da-da-da-da-da-da. Whatever their excuses are for not being there, the only way you're going to get it is if you're here. If you snooze, you lose. In other words, you have to be a serious implementer. Okay, again, replay this over and over again. That was important gold. So here's what happens. At that point, you start showing your content. You're teaching, you're providing a lot of value. And it might be 5 or 7 big lessons. And throughout the course, remind them that there's going to be the giveaway coming up. And as long as you stick around to the end, I'll show you where you can get my slides, which stacks the value, okay? And remind them that they have to pay attention and take lots of notes, because when you do the giveaway, it's whoever types in the answer first, okay? And that will only happen at the end of the presentation, and you must be present to win. If you go away, you lose twice, okay? Important psychology there. All right, so that, again, massive gold in my opinion. This is the result of years and years of experimentation. Even if it makes a lot of sense now, didn't make sense to us or anyone else who's been doing this until we kind of figured this out. All right. Now, once you've got through the presentation, this is the point where typically you'll say, now look, I'm about to show you how you can get started and work with me, if that's okay. So you essentially are asking permission of the viewers or letting them know that this is the time. And I want to remind you that after I finish this, I will tell you where you can get my slides, and we're going to be doing the Apple iWatch giveaway or whatever the raffle is. Okay? So that's a transition point after you've taught your content. And at this point, you're actually going to go through and summarize your offer. So you're going to talk about everything that you get inside the product. You go slide by slide. This so you can do this, and this so you can do this. And if you've watched the offer preparation, you know that we teach you overcome or solve the big problem, and then you overcome objections with bonuses. So, for example, we've got the 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. And then summarize the offer, okay? You'll have thing 1, you'll have thing 2, thing 3, so that you can. Then, bonus 1, to overcome the first objection they have. Bonus 2, to overcome the second big objection they have. Bonus 3, to overcome the third big objection. And then we're going to have a timer that's going to appear in a moment. I'll explain that in a moment. Okay, an urgent takeaway bonus, and then a deadline bonus. Now, you don't have to do all these. I'm just giving you some extra value. A timer bonus is, I've got a timer on the bottom here, which I'm going to show in a moment. I'll explain that. So while this is ticking down, as long as you take action before this timer runs out, there's something great you're going to get. And if you don't take advantage of it while the timer's running out, you're going to lose it. That's what a takeaway bonus is. And this offer ends Sunday or Saturday at midnight, whatever it happens to be. And that's when the price goes up and the bonuses go away. All right, so the point is, you lose if you snooze. Okay, so Once you've summarized the offer, that's when you say, now, if you recall, when I began this presentation, I told you that there's a place where you can get the presentation slides. So when you click the order button and scroll down to the end of the page, that's where the slides are. Now, why do we do that? So first of all, at this point, at least 10 to 20% of your audience is stuck around more than if you didn't do this. So you got more people who are watching you. And the only way to get your slides is to click the order button, scroll through everything they get, that's your shopping cart page, in order to get there. That means they took action, they're practicing pressing the orange order button, they see everything that's available, all the reasons why they don't want to hesitate. We can't confirm this. I believe it increases sales substantially, okay? Because everyone has to click in order to get the slides, okay? So that's giant tip number one. And then, so the point is, everyone wins, and you reconfirm that, okay? And remember, we're going to be giving away the Apple iWatch very, very soon. So the download forces the viewer to visit the checkout page and scroll all the way to the bottom. All right. Now, at this point, what we do, I have fulfilled my promise. So what this means is you can trust me because I do what I say I'm going to do. Now, at this point, we get back to the offer page with a summary of everything on it. I've got a countdown timer on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to review the offer again, and I'm going to answer questions that are in chat about the product. Now, you don't take time to talk about stuff that isn't relevant or that kills the sale, right? This is really, really important, okay? Sometimes people get focused on minutia that helps a 1/10 of 1% of the audience. When you've got 90 people who want to know something important, do not spend your time on minutia and stuff that kills your sales or takes 10 or 20 minutes to answer. Focus on stuff that propels the offer forward. And reconfirm, okay, as long as you are in the shopping cart, you click the orange button and you order the product before this timer ends, you're going to get this bonus and this bonus and this bonus. And remember that when this offer ends, the price increases and we take away the bonuses. Okay, so you're doing that while the timer's running and answering questions and reconfirming everything and reminding them. Now, when we are done, when I'm done answering all the questions and the timer runs out, we will be doing the giveaway, the raffle giveaway. And remember, you're going to need to answer a question about what I covered today inside the program. And the first person who types that in is going to win the prize. So what I've done is I've, again, created the reason. So if you want to take advantage of this great offer, make sure that you do it before the timer runs out. Again, you're creating this urgency. So only after that period of time, and again, you don't have to use a timer if you don't. You do whatever you want to do. We've just found that a timer works quite well. And I just bought a countdown timer online. I just searched for Keynote countdown timer, and I got a graphic. It's just a little video that plays in the background. I'm sure you can find that as well. All right. Now, at that point, you do the giveaway. So what you do is you'll say, and you got to make sure that this is a question that isn't some easy peasy, but not so complicated no one will get it, but it needs to support the product. It needs to be relevant. So, and in my opinion, it should be revolving around the benefit of owning the product. So for example, I might say, now during the presentation, I talked about the percentage of the human race that is connected to the internet right now. The first person to type in that percentage is going to win the Apple iWatch. Now, either you or your person has the chat open in the window, and the answers are going to start scrolling by so fast you won't believe it, okay? So you take a snapshot of the screen. On the Macintosh, it's Command-Shift-4, okay? That takes a picture of the whole screen, or Command-Shift-3 can grab just a region of the screen so you can get a picture of that person's name. And then you'll say, oh, it's so fantastic. In a moment, I'm going to, we're going to share the winner of the prize. We do have a winner. And at that point, you'd make sure that your summary screen is back up. Okay, so again, the reason why you're doing your event is to sell stuff. Don't forget that. You're not doing your event to give stuff away. So reconfirm this is about whatever your purpose is. So again, while that's going on, and you could kind of go through this in a moment. We're going to be talking about who that winner is. I'm really excited. Blah 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 blah. All right, great. Then you'll say, well, you announced the prize winner is, and at that point you can show the screen if you've got the ability to switch if you're using Wirecast. You don't have to, you can just recite it. But that's when you give away the prize, and at that point you can start wrapping up. And at that point you're going to see a big decline in the people who are watching, but I want you to again repeat, I will stay here and answer all your questions even after we've given away the watch. So don't go away. Then you give away the watch and then you answer some more questions, okay? So everything I gave you right now, again, in my opinion, this should boost your sales by 10 or 20%. I don't know anywhere else you can get a 10 or 20% raise from just doing a couple nuanced things. So if I were you, and if I knew what I knew now, back when I was just starting up, I would watch and listen to this video over and over again. And I'd do everything that I just described to you. You don't have to do it all. You can work your way into it. But this makes a massive difference. I only wish I would have learned this 7 years ago when I started doing webcasts. All right, so the iWatch giveaway results. Here's what we've determined. We believe, we haven't been able to do really extensive split testing, but we're seeing about 20% greater registration, sometimes as high as 30%. We're seeing 20 to 30% increased attendance to our events, and 2/3 of our audience is staying till the close, where it's not uncommon, depending on the duration of your program and other factors, you might lose 40% of your audience throughout your training. That's not unusual, okay? And especially when you start getting into the close, that's when you start seeing a decline, because people are like, I got all the value I want, and I don't want to buy anything anyway. Well, they don't really know if they want to buy something or don't buy anything until they've listened to your entire close. And so again, this is where you start seeing that big bump. So the other thing is you see a lot of obvious excitement in the chat. And again, I believe we're seeing an estimated 20% increase in sales. We think it could actually be more. We've had some massive results. We're talking like a couple $100,000 days doing webcasts right now. So I think this is pure gold. We intend to do it in all of our live webcasts, especially when we're working with partners. So a couple reasons why I think this is so important. The first of which is this is trading dimes for dollars. What does that mean? If something costs you 30 bucks or even 300 bucks and you're giving it away, and you can increase your sales by $10,000 or $20,000 in a day, would you do it? Okay. So if someone came up to you and said, I'll give you a stack of bills in exchange for a roll of dimes, would you do it? I certainly hope you would. That's where that term comes from. Next, in the past, we used to do random giveaways, rewarding non-attendees. Never, ever, 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 ever will that ever happen again. Only people who stick around to the end, only people who type in an answer, only people who take attention, or pay attention and take action. Take attention, all right. And then, like I say, it requires attention and involvement, which is what this game's all about. And the other thing is we grab the chat as proof, so we show results. We actually show that we do what we say we're going to do. We reward people to take action. Boom, here's proof, okay? And I think it gamifies, it excites the audience, it gets them involved, it creates a little bit of competition, and that's fun, okay? And it also shows that people who get involved get rewarded. So that's a summary of prizes and raffles. I hope you use this, I hope you take it to heart, I hope you enjoy it, and I can't wait to see what you do with your own webcast. Make sure you post links and opportunities to the webcasts that you start presenting and performing inside the membership site and inside the Facebook community, so other people can check them out and give you some feedback and recommendations. And if you have some specific ideas that you want to test out, best way to do it, post your ideas inside the Facebook community and see what other people think of your prize ideas. Don't be afraid to be original And again, cheap doesn't necessarily mean money. It also means if you're creative, you get people involved. So again, something that could be handmade or personalized can have a heck of a lot more value than even a $3,000 or $5,000 program or prize as well. So that's it for this module. Thank you for watching.